It's coming up to a year for us here in Albania, and I wanted to give you an update of how it's been and what we expect for the year ahead. It's been for me an amazing experience, the best experience of my life, and I am so grateful for having joined the Peace Corps and so grateful for being here in Albania. My role here is truly rewarding. I'm doing the best job of my life, and I wouldn't give this up for anything.
Yeah, there have been a lot of ups and downs. We entered our communities in the wintertime, which was very difficult. Not only are you learning a new language, interacting with new people, but it's so cold that you don't want to go out and make the effort to mingle with people because you just want to stay next to the fireplace or your radiator, whatever it is you have. But as spring came along, I got to know my students better. I formed clubs, which allowed me to shift away from the curriculum and be able to casually talk to people and my students. So we went on a bunch of trips. My school community is very tight, so that's helped me with integration.
It's been quite an adventure because it's filled with both challenges and personal growth. But let's start with transportation. So a real struggle, especially when you're living in a village like me. Getting around here isn't easy due to limited transportation options. Everyday tasks like running errands or visiting nearby towns can become quite a puzzle.
What I think, if I have to reflect about the last year, what surprised me is my struggle about moving into my site. I was kind of surprised because I'm a kind of person who adjusts to situations pretty fast, and I've been living in other places abroad, so I have that experience, but I did not expect to have struggle at my site because of my past experience. But I live in the big cities, and coming into my village that only has around 100 people was quite hard an adjustment, because it sort of prevents me to be very independent, which I really love to be, because my site doesn't have stores or public transportation, so it kind of limits my ability to go buy stuff or go to the nearby town.
Host family also made it really easy because they have a very great reputation in town. So whenever people hear that I live with them, they light up and they're like, oh, they asked me about my experience there, what it's like to live with them. They asked me about the cooking, the food.
First, I'll talk about our achievements. I feel, the C classes have been wonderful. We've bridged the gap for almost 30 students to read and write in SHIP and hopefully understand better in the classroom. I'm going to be honest with you, we have a long way to go. They are so well behind. We're teaching 10, 12-year-olds the alphabet. And so it's going to be a long-term project. It's going to be a long-term focus on these kids. Domino Square project, you see our first wall behind us. Sadly, that's the only wall right now. The 2-month project is now becoming a year project. And so we are hoping next Earth Day, April of 2024, we will open our Domino Square.
These challenges have good way to teach you about patience and also creative problem solving. I learned to appreciate the slower pace and find joy in the simple victories.
So my interactions with young people have been great so far. They're super energetic. They're so eager. They want to learn. They are the heart of the community because they're the ones wanting change. You know, they talk about not having enough hobbies after school. They want to progress their English skills because they know how important that is in, you know, finding a job or within Albania and outside of Albania.
If there's one thing that I've learned over the last year here that I'd pass on to you all, it's that in this job, it's important to not over-focus on the big picture. Economy, sustainability, quality of life, it's not a pretty picture. If it were, we wouldn't be here. And that sort of thinking contributes to the culture of pessimism, which is so common here, unfortunately. But it's not our job to stand athwart history and yell stop. It's our job to work on the person-to-person level and to find individuals who are ambitious, who want to do something with their lives, and get to know them and help them do that, even if that means they'll be doing it in Tirana or in Germany. That sort of person-to-person link is what makes Peace Corps unique as an agency, and thinking about things in those terms from the start will set you up for success.
So one of the hardest parts of being a Peace Corps volunteer, of course, is language. Because when I first got here, I couldn't understand my host family, the teachers, and I was very hard on myself because we only had language training for 3 months. I thought I'd be more proficient in the language, but you know, you have to understand that it takes a year or longer to learn Albanian. And there were days where I felt very down because I felt like a failure, felt like nobody understood me. And now I feel like my language has come a long way. My tutor is the Albanian teacher at my school, and we've developed a friendship from those tutoring sessions. So, you know, you just have to take it slow and don't be too hard on yourself because the language will come naturally as you interact with more people.
My language has improved a great deal, although my executive director probably is frustrated because she can't communicate with me that well. But I have enough language to get by, to get things done, and so I feel comfortable with that. But I do need to focus on my vocabulary, and that's something that I need to make time for.
I think one of my greatest things that I've noticed that here so far was the community and the people and my fellow volunteers, because we have a very great dynamic, and it was such a great meeting new people, and especially once you learn the language. When you start learning the language, it may be very hard because of the new vocab, new words, and new everything, but with time and with the community that you have, it's amazing to notice how your skills improve with time. Parts of speaking like Montenegrin is when you go to Croatia or Bosnia or like Serbia, like fellow countries, you can sort of speak with people there too. So learning this language here opens your doors to communicate people in this country, at your site, but also people in neighboring countries.
There has been moments of feeling low, you know, which is normal. I feel as, you know, as a person that leaves their home country and come here without friends and family members. And yeah, so, and also immersing myself in a completely new culture took a lot of my mental health. There were times when I struggled with bouts of depression, but I found a strength in seeking support from my fellow volunteers and the local community. And it is amazing of how sharing our challenges can lighten the load.
The other important thing I think to mention is that I, as well as many of the female volunteers I spoke with, finding it very safe here. I haven't feel threatened at all in any way, apart from the speeding cars that speed their way through the streets of the town. And one of the main reasons is you get to know the community. You're no stranger to the community. You're in and out of that small town or village on a very regular basis, so everybody knows you, everybody remembers you.
I see myself, I see the world, and I see my future in a completely different way than when I came here. And like I said before, my journey as a Peace Corps volunteer is full of difficulties, but it's a constant lesson. And your service will be a lesson to your life, and it will bring so many skills. You will learn to do the impossible.
So this year, now that I know the needs of my students and I'm close with all the teachers, I think I can be more assertive in the classroom. I won't just be that assistant or person standing in the back observing. I can kind of stray away from the strict curriculum and, embed more fun activities so that the kids aren't just sitting writing notes. They can actually move around the classroom or work in groups. And then I hope to progress with my English club, and then after Glow Code, of course, I want to do a coding club at least once a week. So that'll be exciting to see what community needs and problems students have identified and what applications they can work on.
I would love to make progress in the year ahead in terms of with the municipality, maybe to help get speed bumps put on many of the roads in my town. Cars are speeding along so fast with children playing in the streets, and it's one of my pet projects to try and talk to the mayor about, as well as the garbage issue around town, especially in the river. People daily, all the time, right in front of me, throw garbage straight into the river, big black bags of trash from the bazaars and the stores, and they just gladly throw the garbage in the river, assuming that it will make its way to a garbage dump, which is freaking ludicrous. So the mentality here really needs to change. They complain about the country not progressing and not being able to join the EU fast enough, but at the same time, I don't see Albanians doing a lot about it to help fit into a more progressive infrastructure. And so I think they need to do a lot with transportation. There are no trains. The bus service is pretty slow and pretty unreliable. Doesn't run in the evening, so past 6 o'clock you can't travel anywhere without a car. And the roads are very narrow, the traffic is horrendous, everybody double parks. I think there's a lot to be done. As well as, we don't have a park in this city, and I'm trying to create one in Domino Square with my NGO, but it's difficult to get any funding or any support, real support from the municipality, and that's something I hope to change in the year ahead and get people to work with us.